lot of kind of random things to talk to you about today. Wow, Facebook, the lighting is so much better. Yeah, even with the filter on Instagram. So, okay, I'm just gonna get everything going. I've got some fun stuff to talk about. I don't have like a particular topic like how to cut sugar, you know, the typical nutritionist stuff. I'm just gonna talk about what's going on in my life, things that I'm loving lately, and a few other things, some different little tips and tricks. I love to share kind of what I'm going through, what I'm finding is working, what I'm passionate about. I'm going to share that. Another fun thing, I'm going to take you to my closet. I have been, hold on, I just got to share this. Let me know if you're on. Let me know if you can hear me. I always worry that I'm going to talk for half an hour. Oh, there we go. Looks like it is working. But say hi if you're on. I like to know I'm not just talking to myself. Okay, so share. So I'm going to take you in my closet. I've been all about like decluttering lately. The whole Marie Kondo, is that how you say it? Thing is inspiring, but I also just like naturally, every couple months, every month, I get into that spurt where I just like want to declutter. Feel like that clutter is just kind of like dragging me down. Okay, where do I want to share this to? So I always forget to introduce myself. If anybody's new on here, I'm Terry from Mama Recharged. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, founder of Mama Recharged. We've got our Mama Recharged method, our 7-day cleanse, and our Mama Recharged membership. So it's all about clean and simple eating, gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free, all the things that are energy draining to so many moms. So we increase energy, lose weight, in a lifestyle fashion, in a way where you can live that way, where it's not just a quick fix, a 30-day quick fix. So that's a little bit about me. And most of you are in Manitoba as well. So cold Manitoba winters right now. We just got back, a couple weeks ago we got back from Cuba. I'll talk a little bit about that. I won't talk too much about it. I've shared so many pictures and putting like vlogs and stuff together, just kind of dreaming of being there again. But I'm just going to dive right into what I'm loving right now. And yeah, if anybody's on, say hi, because I feel like I'm talking to myself. I've actually been putting off, so I started these Thursday lives, 10 o'clock every Thursday. Started that at, I think, end of November, started December, doing really good with that. And then we were getting ready for holidays. We went away on holidays, and it's been tough getting back into that routine. And this is like anything else, like working out, like you get into that habit, you get going good, and then you stop it, and then it's so hard to get back into that routine. So today I was like, do I have enough good stuff to talk about? Do I have it planned out well enough? Should I do a live? Should I get back into it? And I thought, I'm just gonna do it. And that's exactly like eating healthy or like working out. So I'm kind of in that stage with working out right now too. Sometimes I go in spurts where I do really good. My favorite thing is like a 15-20 minute like high intensity workout, up to 30 minutes. Over 30 minutes, it's like I just don't even want to do it, and I'm more likely to not even start. But so yeah, that's what I'm into right now. I'm getting back to posting regularly, these Thursday lives every Thursday at 10. Also with workouts, the same thing. It's like I'm just gonna start. Might not be perfect, but get the momentum going. So if you're like that, you want to work out, you're struggling, just do it. I was watching I'll get into things I've been loving. So before I dive any further, things I've been loving lately, Rachel Hollis. I was just gonna mention that. So actually a few weeks ago, I started reading this book, Girl Wash Your Face. Let me know if you guys have read it. A friend lent it to me, and I have so many different books, and I love like self-help stuff. But with reading, I also have sort of ADD. I want to be doing everything. Like I love podcasts because I can listen to podcasts and I can do other stuff at the same time. So I have a really tough time just sitting down and just reading. If anybody else is like that, let me know. But I started to get into this. So my new habit I've just noticed this phone is kind of blocking it. I want to get get to bed earlier and read a little bit is what I want to do, because I have a few books that I want to get to. This one I've been loving. At first I thought, okay, I've probably heard like everything she's going to say before. Nothing's new. And it is a lot of stuff that I've heard before, but some stuff is new. Some, I love her personal stories. And even if it is stuff I've heard before, like I share stuff with you guys that you've heard before, like drink more water, eat less sugar, you know, all that. But being told it again and being told it in different ways, it's helpful. So I am loving this. And then since I've been loving this, I'm loving her and her husband do a daily, they do podcasts as well, which I listened to. She had a good one this week. But every morning at, I think it's 8 o'clock Manitoba time, Central Standard Time, they'll do a Facebook Live. And a lot of the times it's just like random stuff they talk about, but they're so cute together. So I've been loving that. So if there's any other Rachel Hollis fans, let me know. She did just have her, her documentary, her movie just came out on Amazon Prime. So I was excited about that. I don't have Amazon Prime, but you can rent it for $4.99. I was going to do that. I was either going to like have a night where I just like grab some wine, some chocolate and notebook and then watch that and get inspired. Or I was going to maybe invite some friends over and make it like a girls' night. But I think they just found out yesterday as it launched, it's not working in Canada. So they'll probably figure out a way soon how to get that in Canada. So I'm excited to watch that. They did just have it in theaters and I missed that. We were gone. And I'm kind of like late to the Rachel Hollis movement. Maybe you guys have been following her for a while, but yeah, I'm excited about that and finding that's really inspiring. So things I've been loving, Rachel Hollis, decluttering. So should I take you to my closet right now? I was going to share with you guys some before pictures of my closet. It was a disaster. So I'll maybe post that in the comments afterwards. I was going to share that before and then tell you that I was going to share the afters on the live, and I forgot to do that. But I think everybody's kind of in that decluttering bandwagon right now, whatever you want to call it, with the Marie Kondo thing. But it's also, I think this time of year, if I look back at like blog posts from years before, I've been doing my blog for probably about 3 years now. So sometimes, or even on my Facebook memories, it'll pop up a blog post about this month. My focus is on decluttering and all that. It does seem to be February. So January, right after Christmas, I have like sort of a decluttering surge and like fitness and everything like that, like everybody does. And then I find again in February, because often we'll do like some sort of vacation in January. We're busy with other things, and then it's like February. I often post too, like what is it? January was there's a meme or whatever you call it. January was a trial month. February is the new year. It's better than that, but something along those lines. And I always feel that way. It's like February 1st. Okay, I'm inspired again. So I'm always in this mode to like declutter and get back into fitness and all that in February. So I don't know if I'm the only one. Hey Alicia, good morning. I'm loving your hair. You're always so organized. You know what? Usually it's a disaster. I'll show you the before after, but nice to see you on here. Alicia's a friend. She was such a good friend. I haven't seen her for a while because we moved away from Brandon. So yeah, good to see you on here. So anyways, I'll show you my closet, but I'm going to share a little bit about, where do I start? I have so many different things I want to talk about, so I need to sort of organize it. So after Cuba, like we had such a good time in Cuba. Hopefully you guys have been able to get away or take some sort of break. This was the first time in a few years that we've been able to get away to somewhere warm, just even to get on a plane. We used to go every year. Before we had kids, we used to go every year to an all-inclusive resort. Often we'd go for 2 weeks. When Ashton was born, we continued with vacations. We didn't do the all-inclusives once she was born. We did, so our first trip when after we had Ashton, my daughter, she was now almost 7, we went to Florida. My parents go to Florida. Miss you too. We went to Florida when she was 10 months old, because they go there every year. and they have kind of like a timeshare type thing. So we went to Florida when she was 10 months old. That was awesome, especially having grandparents and having a new baby. And then we kind of got on that whole thing. So we did Florida again, I think the next year, when Ashton was almost 2. And then we did Palm Springs, and those vacations were awesome as well. So this is the first time we hadn't done an all-inclusive forever. That's kind of dramatic saying forever, but we hadn't done an all-inclusive, so I kind of forgot like how awesome it was. This was the first time we'd flown anywhere with Easton, and we loved it. We had, I think it really helped. So we took we didn't take our in-laws came with us, and that really helped with kids having in-laws there. We love their company. I love my in-laws, so that helps. But also having grandparents, or even if you have friends with kids, like it's so nice having that help with the kids if you're on vacation. It's always, I know with a lot of us moms, it's like, especially for all inclusives, is it like, do you take the kids and enjoy a family vacation? And as a mom, usually you're the one that still has to like, do all the work. There's a lot less work on an all inclusive, mind you, but still, moms still have a lot of, it's not necessarily a vacation. Or do you go without them, but then you are missing them so much? So that was my struggle. Like my husband probably would have wanted to do a vacation on our own earlier, but it's like, I feel like if I go on vacation, the whole time I'm just gonna be sad, because it's like, oh, my kids would love this, my kids would love that. So I don't know, I kind of feel like now that we did a vacation with them, they've experienced that, I think I'd be okay with doing a vacation without them, now that I know like that they've seen all that. So I don't know. It's tough. What do you guys do? Do you like to go on vacation with your kids, without them? Do you take grandparents? I'm curious. So I don't know, if we were to do a vacation next year, if it's just one vacation a year, I don't know, it might be tough to not take them, but I don't know. So anyways, what was I getting at? So with Cuba, we loved it. Then I came back from Cuba, and this might sound annoying that it's like, oh, poor me. So I came back from Cuba, and I just kind of like felt a little bit down, just kind of like in a bit of a funk, because it's like things are so amazing for that 1 week. And I think I used to feel this way too, even before kids. We'd go on an all-inclusive, maybe not to this degree, and then you go back to your like boring office job. For me, that often was like a boring office job. So instead of going on vacation feeling like it's going to recharge you, it's going to be good for your work because you're going to have a week away, get refreshed, and come back and be refreshed and ready to go. Usually it's the opposite, where it's like, okay, you realize how much stuff sucks when you get back. So I don't want to be a downer. I've got some happier stuff I want to share with us. So I kind of was in that funk a little bit when I came back from vacation. So part of that was I needed a gratitude journal. I talk about that quite a bit. I don't always do that. Like ideally I would get up every morning and do a gratitude journal, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it is just getting a piece of paper, getting a notebook, and writing down anywhere from like 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for each day. And instead of just writing down like, I'm grateful for my house, grateful for my kids, kind of like really think about it and kind of feel the emotions of gratitude. It's huge. It's huge doing that. So I realized like I have a pretty good, like things are pretty good right now, just because I went from like an amazing life for the week and then coming back to real life. I should still be super grateful for what I have, and I should still really enjoy what I have going on. Let's see if I can read this. We wanted to go this year, but I thought it would be more difficult with Hudson being a toddler. I don't think I could go without them either, as I'd constantly be thinking about them and not enjoy it as much. We will hopefully travel next year. Yeah, so that's exactly how I was feeling too, where it's like, so maybe it is kind of the thing with like, wait until they're a couple years older. I'm really glad we didn't go. I think Hudson, he's just a little bit younger than Easton, I think, okay? I'm glad we didn't go last year. Last year we did a week at Elkhorn Resort. We got a good deal on that, and that was a really nice break. But I'm glad we didn't do an all-inclusive. I'm glad we waited till this year. Easton was a lot better. And then also having the grandparents going too was really nice. So yeah, I bet family vacations will be a lot more fun and a lot easier when they're a little bit older. I'm excited to do Disney World at some point with them. We went when Ashton was 10 months old. We did Universal Studios, and that was just for us. Like, she didn't really get anything out of that, but I don't know what's a good age for Disney World, like anywhere from like 6 to 9 years old or something. So yeah, that's something I want to do. So gotten off track. What was I? Oh yeah. So after Cuba, I see Amy's on. She's been traveling too, so maybe she can relate to this too. You're kind of like in a fantasy land for a week when you're at an all-inclusive resort. So I found during that week, I was almost amazed with myself. I did not get worked up once at all with my kids. Like, I was just a calm, happy mom. And it's easy because you walk somewhere, you grab your coffee, you walk somewhere else, you grab your breakfast. You don't have to do any cleaning. So I was just so relaxed that whole week. Normally at home with the kids, I try my best to be relaxed, but I turn into scary mama sometimes, especially as the day goes on. Get so frustrated with the kids. So that's one big thing. So so when I came home, I'm in that bit of a funk. And then I'm also thinking like, okay, how can I bring some of that part of me back home? What lessons can I learn from that? What else can I bring from that? So I actually had a couple mornings where I sat and I just like journaled. Got poor connection on Instagram. Facebook seems to be better. So I find too, when I'm going through like a little bit of a funk, and I can't speak to, I know there's a lot of people, and we had talked about this like on social media. A lot of people have been talking about this, like the deep depressions. I can't really speak to that because I'm not an expert in that. So what I'm speaking of is more of just like a little sort of like funk. So I think there probably is also a lot of other moms that go through this too. Maybe you're not feeling like depression, but you just you're not like as happy as you could be, and that's important too. So if you are resonating with that too, it's important to happiness is important to your health too. So anyways, a bit of a funk. So then I realized I need to like journal this out. I need to figure out how I can bring more of that, the person that I was in Cuba, how I can bring more of that home, how I can streamline my life a little bit more so I'm not freaking out on my kids as much when I'm at home, all of that. So part of that was journaling to figure out what's going on. So one part is the decluttering I'm going to get back to. Often we're at home and it's just like, with 2 little kids, maybe you have more, maybe you have 1, maybe you have 4 kids, the toys, the clutter, it feels like it's just a nonstop battle of, especially at this age, my kids are 3 and 6. They are pulling out so many different toys, making such a mess. They're at an age where you have to constantly, at least my kids, I have to constantly remind them, I have to constantly harp on them to tidy up their stuff before they get into other things. And it's just a constant battle. And I feel for myself, when my house is a disaster, I don't know how to word this, but when your surroundings are chaotic, then your internal is chaotic. I'm not describing that correctly. But when I am organized, when I feel like everything's organized, everything has a place, it's decluttered, I feel a lot happier. I feel a lot more calm. So that was part of it. Post Cuba, post vacation, getting back into like how can I make things better. So decluttering. Another part I realized too with Cuba, so in the past, I'm just going to backtrack a second. In the past like 6 years since we've had Ashton, my life has been, and I think a lot of you guys can relate to this, my life has been about my kids. My life has been about checking off a to-do list. I have sort of lost, a part of myself in that. I say that, so I keep losing connection on Instagram. So I say that at first I felt like, okay, I maybe have lost a part of myself, the fun part, the part that goes out with friends, that I lost a part of myself. But I also, after thinking about it, like journaling a little bit, And also listening to Rachel Hollis talk, I've realized that that's a season of my life, was being the mom, being at home with the kids, checking off the to-do list, getting to bed early, kind of a lack of social life. So I realized in Cuba, because that's the first time we've really had a date night. My husband and I, we had the grandparents there, so we had a couple nights where we could just go out on our own. That's the first time in years that I've danced. I used to love, Alicia remembers this, used to love to go out to the bars and dance. So the past few years, I hadn't really cared about that. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe if I close this, I keep losing connection on Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. Facebook is working a lot better. If you want to hop over there or watch the recording after. So the past few years, I haven't really cared about that. I've loved just being home, not having to go anywhere. I've loved occasionally having a glass of wine by myself in the evening and watching Kardashians. So I've been loving that. So I think that's the season of life I was in and still sort of am in. But with this trip, it's kind of made me realize that I am sort of missing a part of myself, or maybe it's that I'm transitioning into, now that my kids aren't babies anymore, I'm starting to transition slightly. So that's the season of my life I was in. Maybe I'm starting to transition slightly to a new season where I do want to get out more. I want to get that part of me back that wants to dress up a little bit nicer. I want to do my hair. It's been so nice with babies. So many days of just not putting my hair up in a bun, wearing sweatpants, sometimes just wearing my yoga pants that I wore to bed, not having to leave the house. And I do love that on a lot of days, but I'm missing. I think I need to work on getting back that part of me that I sort of missed in those last few years. So Alicia says, I feel like my day is more stressful on the days where I'm not prepared for the day, such as pre-making lunches the night before or pre-planning meals. Definitely makes it easier. Clutter is an issue right now. I've started more totes and organize the toys, but I think we also need to purge toys. So yeah, that's good to hear that you're kind of the same way with that. And yeah, with the meal planning thing, the prepping lunches and all that, it seems like either the day can control you or you can control the day. And I struggle with this too, quite often, where you're either just, what's the analogy? You're just, oftentimes for me, it's like, I feel like I'm treading water, or I'm maybe not drowning, but I feel like I'm just treading water instead of, things being a lot easier. So yeah, all of that is kind of what I'm feeling right now, where it's like, okay, how can I control my day instead of my day controlling me? Part of that for me as well. So there's a few different things that I'm focusing on getting back on track with. One of those things with me controlling the day versus the day controlling me is getting up earlier, having some time to myself. So I have a planner, even though I don't have a super busy schedule, meetings, things like that. I've got a planner. I've got a to-do list on there. That really helps me. So if I have quiet time, I talk about this a lot too, quiet time in the morning, have my cup of coffee, just having that, just kind of feeling to myself and calming down. Often I'll do the gratitude journal. I'll think about I'll look at my meal plan if I've got a meal plan. If I don't, then I'll think about what I'm going to make that day. So in terms of food, if I'm going to work out. So it's kind of setting the intention for all those things. So I kind of list out, okay, what's my day going to look like? I'm going to fit in a workout here. I'm going to make this for supper. I'm going to do this. And then I find even just doing that really helps. And then when you sort of have that time to think about things, then you're a lot more motivated. Even you're a lot more likely to, or for me at least, I'm a lot more likely to, maybe at lunch, I'm going to prep things to get ready for supper, or, you're just a little bit more proactive with everything. So I think the biggest thing is just the mindset thing with that. So I'm trying to get back with that. One thing with that I'm struggling with right now. So I've got all these different things that I want to add in. I want to get back to working out. I mentioned that right when off the hop a little bit. I go on spurts of like, I do really good with workouts, and then you get out of it, and then it's so hard to get back into it. You have all the different excuses. Like after Cuba, Easton was sick for a while, then I got a cold. We had a couple days at the end where we had like no sleep. We had an overnight flight. So I think my immune system was kind of weak. So I had a cold for a little bit, and then for so long I'm like, well, I need to listen to my body. I'm not ready to work out yet. And then I can use excuses for like that for way too long. So now I'm telling myself, so I did a little workout yesterday. It wasn't very good. I was laughing at myself how like weak I was with some of it. But at least it was like a 15-minute workout. It was pretty high intensity, and I like did not do great with it at all, but I was proud of myself that at least I did it. I'm getting the momentum going. I didn't make excuses. So my plan right now is to get back to working out every day, almost every day. Maybe I'll give myself a day or two off. I like that better because that's going to create the habit where it's like, okay, no, like I'm just going to do it. No excuses. But working out for like an hour every day is too much. It's too much for your body. It's too much for your schedule. So all I aim for is 15 minutes at least, anywhere from like 15 to 30-minute workout. Usually I like to do like a YouTube, a Tone It Up, a Beachbody, something like that. Some sort of workout that's quick. So that's my game plan. So I have all these different things I want to add into my life, decluttering, but it's like, okay, so something has to give in. One thing I'm realizing is that I scroll social media way too much. And you guys are on social media right now. You might think you're wasting time. I give myself some time. I love watching the Rachel Hollis show. Sometimes it is good to sit and have a cup of coffee, or maybe if you are preparing lunches or preparing things right now. So I like to multitask. Like say you're watching this, the Thursday lives, you can still multitask and do stuff like that. But it's those, for me, it's when I should be going to bed, but I spend half an hour or sometimes more scrolling Instagram. Sometimes do you ever do it where you watch a video and then you scroll and you see some other random video, and then it's like an hour's gone by and you've just been watching random videos. So I've been doing that too much, either at night, sometimes during the day, or in the morning when I wake up. So I'll wake up, I put my phone on, and I'm scrolling social media instead of getting out of bed and going downstairs where I have my space to have my quiet time, to journal. I get so much more out of my day than if I just laid in bed and scrolled social media. So that's one part. I'm identifying the areas where I'm wasting time, where it's not necessarily like filling my cup. So things like this or the Rachel Hollis live or things like that, it's good if it's filling your cup, if it's helping you to relate to other moms, getting tips like that. Then I feel like that probably, it depends on the person. That can probably be a good use of time, but it's just identify where you're wasting time, where you're kind of just numbing out. Maybe that's Netflix every night, just watching too many shows. If you can maybe get to bed earlier, and then maybe you have time in the morning to work out, or you have time to do some preparing meals for the day, things like that. So we want to add in all these different things, but it's like something's gotta go, because we are so busy. As moms, there's usually not a whole lot of time. So what else? I'm just gonna look at, so what have I been up to lately? I mentioned some of that, decluttering. I've been in such a, and I'll show you my closet in a minute. So I'm kind of proud of that. We are in week 4 of the Mom Recharged Method program. So we've got a group of moms in there. I caught up on week 2, following the method program. So we're into week 4 of our 4-week program. So I've also been creating, the last couple of weeks, I've been creating a new batch of meal plans for our membership. So I've got some really good, a lot of my favorite recipes in there, Plus, I'm also diving into something new. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about this yet because I still want to do a lot of research on it and I want to test it out myself. I've been researching the last couple of years. Here's a couple books that I'm going to be diving into. Fat for Fuel, Dr. Mercola. This one Jason is starting to read. So I'll probably dive into that next. Jason Fung, the obesity code. So I have been hesitant with I'll just talk about it a little bit. I wasn't going to talk about it until I've tested it. And I've been diving a little bit into the keto diet. I've been hesitant with the keto diet for a while because you hear on one hand, especially for women, like I generally think the keto diet works better for men. But I have seen, especially when I'm in the health food store, I've seen in person women come in and I love to just chat with them. Sometimes I'll chat with people and they'll say like, we went gluten-free and like, it was crazy, like all these symptoms. Usually they're bringing it up too. And I just love that. Like I get goosebumps when I hear stuff like that. And then I hear people who have tried keto and they are feeling amazing. So instead of brushing it off, because I do hear from some nutritionists, some people are saying that it can mess with your thyroid. It's not as good for women. It can mess with your hormones. It can slow your metabolism. But then on the other hand, it's people have tried it and they're feeling amazing. And there's so many like experts, like people that, you know, Dr. Mercola, I love his work. Jason Fung is super smart, but a lot of these are geared more towards men. So I think there is a difference with men and women. So that's something I'm diving into right now. I know a lot of people, some of my family members, friends have tried keto. Some of them have struggled with it, maybe haven't been able to get into ketosis. Maybe they've ended up just eating cheese all day. Like their diet consists mainly of cheese. So I'm diving into the research. I'm diving into how to make it simple, how to make it healthier. And I'm going to test it out myself. So I've been in ketosis years ago, like probably 12 years ago when it was the Atkins, the South Beach thing. I remember doing South Beach and that's when like nobody really talked about ketosis. That's a part of the South Beach diet. So Jason and I did that. It was when we first started dating. We did that years ago. So it's not new to me, but I haven't really dove fully into it. Network connection. So I want to make sure that it's healthy for a woman. You can do that. And then afterwards not have your metabolism slow or it affect your thyroid. I don't want it to cause you to go into hypothyroidism. If anybody has done a keto diet, I'd love to hear your experience. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure if I'm loving it. I'm not sure if I'm hating it. I'm researching more. I think there can be some huge benefits to it. And there's so many people trying it. I want to be able to give you the healthier way to do it, where you're not going to be lacking fiber. You're not going to be lacking nutrients. You're going to be eating a lot of vegetables. So that's kind of my focus right now. And I'm excited about that, the potential with that. It is really tricky researching to see, is it good, okay for your thyroid, your metabolism, or is it going to trash your thyroid, your metabolism? Because you see somebody's is saying it's amazing, it's going to be good for you, but they're selling a keto diet. You see somebody that's trashing it, they're selling something that's not a keto diet. So right now I'm trying to be like a neutral third party. I'm trying to sift through the research. Unless I find something that's really going to scare me, I'm going to be the guinea pig. I'm going to try it myself fully. And I probably will document sort of how things are going. And then I'll share that with you afterwards, is what I'm thinking right now. So yeah, I'm curious. Anybody your thoughts on keto, if you've tried it, I would love to hear. I'm not sure how long I've been talking for, but I'll try to wrap it up soon. So I think I talked a lot about this. Habit shifts is something I've been doing, small habit shifts. So after Cuba, I always say after Cuba, but just in the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to drink more water. And one thing, and I posted about this before, I put a glass jug of water on my countertop. Sometimes I'll add lemon slices to it. sometimes just a glass jug of water, so I can track how much I'm drinking. So that has been my main focus, along with sort of like decluttering and all that. But my main health focus. So it's kind of nice to, if you want to make some changes, pick one small thing. Drinking more water is a nice spot to start. Focus on that for about a week. Tried it. So for me, I try to, as long as I can get through that jug by the end of the day, I'm doing good. I think what they say is, what is it? Drink, what is it? Half your body weight in ounces per day. Is that correct? But I've just been doing, I think it's like a 2-liter jug of water. So even that I find is that I'm drinking a lot more water than I usually do. I tend to just drink way too much coffee all day long. So I'm just starting with that. Probably still isn't enough, but I'm finding that's helping and I'm drinking more water. So I focused on one small habit. The next habit I'm focusing on is to get exercise back into my life. So like I said before, that's going to be like a minimum 15 minutes of getting a sweat on almost every day. And in doing it that way, it's going to become a habit. And I'm just going to tell myself, like, I'm just going to do it, right? Don't think about it too much. Don't make excuses. Just get it in. If it's 15 minutes, it's a lot easier. So if you turn it into a habit, like drinking water, turn it into something where it's just like brushing your teeth, right? It's just part of your day. With me, with drinking a big glass of water in the morning when I wake up before I have a cup of coffee, I've been doing that for about 5 years now. I don't know if I've missed a day or two of having water before my coffee, but that's now is like brushing my teeth. I don't often. I'd rather just get up and just have a cup of coffee, but that's just part of it. I don't even think about it. So if you can do that, work in small habits. Getting up earlier is what I want to do. Get consistent with that. Less time on scrolling social media. I think I talked about most of that. So I'm going to show you my closet. So I'm still less time wasters. Okay. So I'm going to try to bring both phones. So I didn't say, but I'm actually in my son's, my 3-year-old's pirate ship room right now, just because it's quiet. Okay, we lost connection on Instagram again. Okay, so let me turn this around. So I've been making my bed, which is nice too. Husband's got his junk. That's a note. So yeah, I'm going to show you the befores. I'm going to post it. But I feel so much better. I cleared out about half of, so this is my portion of the closet. It's kind of a walk-in closet. This is my husband's portion. And then we've got here, I've got some other clothes. So most of that's mine. Husband's up top. So here I cleared out like half of my closet. So I still have a lot of stuff here, but I cleared out half of it. So in that half, a quarter of that was summery stuff that I put in my closet downstairs. I find that helps. The off-season stuff, if you can like tuck it away. And then a quarter of that was donated to the thrift store. I just got rid of it. So I actually went through, I spent probably at least a couple hours and I tried on almost everything and I kept just what fit me nice. Like I had so much stuff. I don't know if you guys are like this, where it's like, you're going out and you're trying on clothes and it's like, no, that doesn't look nice. That doesn't fit me nice. But then we still keep it. So like, I don't know why I kept that stuff. I never wore it, but I still kept it. So now I've got just everything like fits me nice. I like it. So I've got, what do I have here? Kind of dressier stuff. Then I've got it kind of color coordinated a little bit. All my sort of like white and off-white stuff. My main colors I wear is black, gray, off-white, and then like camo colors or like a dark green. So I kind of have it organized like that. This is more like workout stuff. What do you call it? Athleisure. Then that's like a little bit dressier tanks and stuff, some cardigans, sweaters, and then like hoodies and stuff. And also with like hoodies, I had so many hoodies and it's like, why don't I just pick my like 4 to 6 favorite ones? Some of them I wasn't ready to get rid of, so I tucked them downstairs. I thought just in case. So even that helps, but I've just got my favorite ones. So if you find if you go on like a 1 or 2 week vacation, you pick out all your favorite stuff, and even that is like a lot of clothes. So it's like if and then it's so much easier to pick out outfits when you're on vacation. So if it's kind of, if I can do sort of that where it's just like, okay, this is all my favorite outfits. And then I went through, I had so many like yoga pants. I still had a lot of those like flared the wide leg flared yoga pants that it's nice to keep 1 or 2 for like pajamas sometimes, but so I went through all of that. If you have 10 pairs of yoga pants and you only wear 2, or like jeans, if you got like 20 pairs of jeans and you really only wear 1 or 2 because they fit nice, then it's like, why do we keep them? So yeah, I just feel a lot better. We also got rid of, okay, I forgot about you guys' Instagram. We also got rid of a lot of toys. So that makes me feel a lot better, and it's huge. So if you've watched that Marie Kondo thing on Netflix, that can be inspiring to get you going. So anyways, I chatted a long time about a lot of random things. Turn you guys around. I've got Instagram and Facebook going, so I'm kind of neglecting one, forgetting about one. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It was a lot of randomness. But I'd love some feedback. I'm going to be on here every Thursday morning. Usually I'll have something like, maybe I'll bring you into my kitchen, make a favorite recipe, do some meal prep, some lunch prep, things like that. But let me know if you guys like this, and love to hear from you guys. And I will see you next week. Bye guys.